Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. I've been going over the online PDF textbook, AppInventor2, Create Your Own Android Apps by Wolber, Abelson, Spertus, and Looney. We're just about done with Chapter 7, Android Where's My Car, but I noticed I forgot to put the if statement in there. So I'm going to go add that right now. So we want to come back to the bottom here, and under our control, we want to add an if statement. And it is if the remembered address data label is not equal to unknown, sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Oh, didn't even take my if. Okay, well then let's put it back in there. We want a not equal in here. And what we want to check is if the set directions button .enabled. No, I'm sorry. It's the remembered address data label .text, and if that's not equal to unknown. Okay, so remember address data label .text. If that's not equal to unknown, all right, we want to set the directions button enabled to true. And I believe that is everything. As it says here, to understand these blocks, envision two different use cases. The user opening the app for the first time, and if it is the first time, then there won't be any location data, so in that case, it will be unknown. But on successive launches, as they mention here, if there is data stored, you'll want to store the previously loaded data in. So the blocks, again, as mentioned right here, and as you saw, they call the store value 3 times. In fact, now that I look at it, I call the store value, and I was supposed to be calling the get value. So did I do that wrong? I bet you I did. Initialize should have 3 get values, but I'm in remember button. I think in the initialize we have the initialize in here. So we have to add all of this. All right. So it's when the screen initialize comes up. So let's take this and collapse the block, put it over here as we've been doing. Let's find our screen 1 and our initialize. And we want to do 3 set statements and then have an if then. Now, I'm looking at this, and that if then that I just put in, I believe I added that into here, and it shouldn't be in there. So I'm going to take that out. All right. So when the screen's initialized, we want to first set the remembered address data label text. We want to set that to a call to get value. And the tag is address, and the value if not there is unknown. All right, and I'm going to duplicate this, put it right down below. And for the second one, we want the remember lat label text. And that lat label text, we want to again have a call to tinydb1, but it's lat in 00. And then finally, we want one more of these, so I'm going to again duplicate it. But this time, we're going to change it from lat label to lon label. All right, and it's LON. And then I believe we want to take the if and put that on the bottom there. So again, as mentioned here, this is calling get value 3 times, once for each of the data fields we stored previously in the address, the lat, and the long. If the value of tag is not there, that's probably because it's the first time, so we're just using the default values. The if block, as it says there, is used to determine if the directions button should be enabled. And it should be if data was indeed retrieved from the database. Okay? So that's everything. Let's take a quick look, make sure that I didn't goof anything up. So I'm going to take this, and I am going to do that, and then I'm going to, this is what I sometimes do when I'm checking this stuff out. I just want to show you this. So this is the first one. So I'm going to do a screenshot right now. I'm going to do a print screen. I'm going to go into Word and just drop that in there. So there that is. Now I can come back into here and I can look at my code and I can double check to make sure that my code is indeed, you know, what I have in there for code is the same thing that they show. So, all right, we'll do it like this. So when screen 1 initialize, address data label dot text tinydb address in unknown. Good. Remembered lat label text, call tinydb get lat 00, and long, again, long, I called it lon label, they called it long label, tinydb get lon 00, and then finally, if if the remember address data label dot text is not equal to unknown, set the show, they call it directions button, I have it called it show directions button, dot enabled to true. So that one looks like it's okay. So let's take this one and we will collapse it, and then I'm going to bring up the remember button and expand that, and I'm going to do the same thing. So in other words, I'm going to take what's in the book for the remember button, which is here, and I'm going to screenshot it, go back into Word, paste that in. Okay. And what do I have here? Good. So this is my screenshot initialize. So right there. All right, so set remember address data label dot text to call tinydb. Address and unknown looks good. Set remembered lat label text call tinydb. Get value tag lat00 if not there. And the long label, which I call long label. Again, long 00, that looks good. And the if statement, equal to unknown, set, that all looks good. All right, next let's look at the, so I'm going to come back into here. And take this and collapse it. So I've checked these two right here. So I'm going to come back to my Show Directions button, and I'm going to expand that. And again, blow it up. Take a screenshot. Go back into Word here. Paste that in. For some reason it doesn't look like it took, so let's try it again. Print screen. There it is. So when Show Directions button, click. No, that was just a screenshot of mine. I wanted to look at what's in the book. So that was screenshot initialize. Let's just do it in their order here. Okay, there's their location sensor. So I'm going to screenshot their location sensor. Double check that against mine. Oh boy. Hope I didn't remove though. There they are. Okay. There we go. You know what? Let's try to run it and just see exactly what happens when we do run it. Okay, so connect, reset connection, wait about 10 seconds or so, connect, bring up the emulator. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. I'm in a house right now, my car, or an apartment. My car is outside. I'm more interested in taking a quick look at the interface. Again, I didn't go back and change the colors, so it's going to look a little weird for the coloring, but it's still fine. Again, it's my hope in going over these I'm just replicating what's in the book, but I'm trying to do it at a slow enough pace that hopefully at least it's making sense to people. All right. Like I said, I'm not sure if you can even run this on the emulator. Okay? But that's about all I wanted to do for this one. So when I come back again in a couple minutes, I'm going to go over the next chapter, which is on the presidential quiz, and I'll see you then.